Hey everybody, it's your Peacekeeper coming at you with the next video in our epic battles replays. And of course, continuing with our previous trend of Japanese destroyers, guess what we're going to do? Yep, you guessed it. We're playing the Minekaze. Here you can see I'm divisioned up with an Omaha, an Al Capone, and a Kamikaze R, which is Rock Raider. We are going to have a lot of fun in this battle. It's a 142,511 damage, Confederate and High Caliber, 4 kills, and a bunch of torpedo hits, and of course gun hits and fires. So we got a lot of stuff going on in this video, but you know how these first parts are. They always go a little bit slow. So, well, let's talk about some things here. As I'm sure you guys are well aware, I have my video on the battleship stats. Destroyer stats should be out Friday, assuming this video makes it out on Wednesday. And we'll just talk about Tier 5, because Tier 5 is an interesting one. And, well, it shouldn't come as any surprise that Minekaze is definitely the king of Tier 5. And, well, across all 4 servers, the average, it leads by 3.82% over Nevny. And 4.2 over Nicholas. So, win rate's pretty impressive difference there. But the big one that caught my attention was the average damage difference between them. Minekaze leads Nevny, wow, English, leads Nevny by basically 10,000 and leads Nicholas by 10,400. That's pretty impressive. Average XP, though, across the board, the total split is only 33 from Minekaze to Nicholas, so not a huge difference there. Kill to death ratio is, well, lacking. That's probably the best way to put that. Basically, Nicholas and Nevny have the same kill to death ratio, and Minekaze leads by 1/3 of a ship. Plane kills, nobody really cares about. Minekaze obviously survives more. Beat best Nevny in the survivability department by 7.75%. Nicholas by 10.25%. And then, of course, Minekaze and Nevny are actually pretty accurate. Nicholas is not. Torpedo hit rate, pretty close across the board, hovering right around 7 to 10%. Of course, Nicholas being the worst. Alright, so back to our battle video here. We launched some torpedoes at the Cleveland. This first part is really slow. It doesn't start picking up here until we start turning back around. So, we've launched some torpedoes at the Cleveland. Obviously, they're not going to hit. The thing with Minekaze is her torpedoes only have a 7-kilometer range, so they're not super long-range torpedoes. To add to that, her gun range is really short too, so it's not like you can sit there and stealth fire from distance as you're going, from point to point. No, she's pretty specialized in this regard. The one thing that she does have, though, is a pretty solid detection range of right at 6 kilometers on the nose. So you got about 1 kilometer of stealth firing range for torpedoes. That means you have to be extremely judicious in using those torpedoes and make sure that you're in range of those targets. I find that with the narrow spread, they really work quite well when you overlap them correctly on targets coming at you, like this Koenig is going to be here shortly. So you can see he's 7.2 coming at us. We're going to go ahead and launch. You could probably launch these on a target of going his speed about, the 7.5 marker, and they'll find their way there. You can see we launched him real tight, and that's because of his profile coming towards us. I'm going to accidentally tactically beach myself. I did not intend to do that. But because he is coming and because it would get us detected, I'm going to go ahead and pop smoke. Now he starts turning, and I don't know if that's because he saw the torpedoes or if he was trying to adjust for fire, but 1 torpedo, 2 torpedo. So I got 2 torpedoes on him. Of course, Rock Raider is going to follow up with his. We're going to go ahead and keep shooting at him because we got smoke up. He can't see me. We might as well do it. Rock Raider lands 1, so this poor Kunik is all the way down into the sub 5,000 hit point mark. He is still charging at me, though, full steam ahead, so we're going to go ahead and launch. Now, I was anticipating him maneuvering a little bit. As you can see, that was a good idea. And that's one of those things, that's one of those skills that, as a Japanese destroyer captain, you're going to have to learn, and learn it best in the low tiers. Starting them on fire, and of course Rock Raider gets the fire or flood kill before my torpedoes get there. However, I would have gotten him with that torpedo had, you know, all things been equal. So, thanks Rock Raider for stealing that kill. Nah, good kill. Okay, so we got Mahan here. Mahan is a tier 7 destroyer. This guy, not so much. This is going to be our first bit of damage here, so that's the unfortunate part. If I was smart, I wouldn't have shot there. It would have been okay, but I'm pretty confident in my ability to dodge most of his shells. The thing with American DDs is that their shell arcs become a real detriment to their ability to hit you right around the 7-kilometer range. And right at 7 kilometers, well, it becomes very easy because those shell arcs mean those shells are taking forever to get to you. So you can just go ahead and punish them, if you will, at those distances beyond that. And that's one of those things I was trying to drive home in the Shimikaze video, which I didn't really do a whole lot of gunplay in it, and the Fubuki video, where I did actually quite a lot of gunplay in it. Alright, so we got Nagnavoy now, and, well, yeah, I suck with leading, apparently. We launched some, I'm going to call them panic torps at him, and he went ahead and smoked up. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to use his smoke against him, and there we just rounded the corner of it. We can see him because he's exposed to, looks like Rock Raider on the south side of the island there. So Rock Raider's gone ahead and exposed him, so that gives us pretty clear vision of what's going on there. Of course, Koenig and Gneisenau are going at each other. Yeah, we're definitely going to lose Koenig, so I'm going to go ahead and launch my own torpedo spread at Gneisenau, and while we are turning, and at this point he really can't avoid them all, so we're just going to go ahead and we're going to find another target to shoot at, even though I can't see those torpedoes hit. 3 more torpedo hits, and the flood sink. Right there it is. Okay. So we're up to 60,000 damage already in Minekaze, and we are well over the server average by twice. The server average across pretty much all the servers is 28,000 on the nose. Interestingly enough, the Asian server has the lowest with 22,000. So I don't know what they're doing over there, but apparently the Russians have it figured out. They're the highest, with Europe then North America. Cleveland is another ship that you can actually take advantage of its shell arcs, and not at this range, though. I'm detected, and unfortunately we're going to end up taking some hits, so I'm not terribly pleased with that, but... Okay, so we've launched our torpedoes. You notice I launched one well ahead, one right basically at the marker, and one well behind the marker. Now if you look at what the marker's doing, he's turning, he's maneuvering. And every time he maneuvers, he is going to just slow down just a little bit more. So, and that's because of the way he's angled at me. So if you're running parallel to a ship, and he makes any turn, the distance, the direction you need to launch the torps is behind him. But if he's coming at you, he has two... There's the sink. If he's coming at you or away from you, and he turns, that marker could change depending on whether he turns to be more parallel to you, or whether he turns to be more perpendicular to you. Of course, parallel meaning running in the same or opposite direction so that his broadside is showing, or perpendicular meaning he's showing you his nose or his back end. So you have to be cognizant of that, because that's how you get good with shooting torpedoes off at these ships is you play their disadvantages to them. So if a ship is coming right at you, every torpedo, or roughly at you, or roughly away from you, every torpedo you launch is going to have to account for that in some way. And that's why you'll see some of these torpedo spreads where I'll start off with one way ahead of them, one right at, and then one like basically pointed at them. We're not entirely pointed at them, but all right. So I'm exposed here to Mr. Miyoko. I beached myself accidentally. Another big mistake on my part, but well, there's 2 more torpedo hits, and thank you, Rocks, for blocking. Because now I've got 22 hit points, and you know what that means. That means everything from here on out is torpedoes only. But we're up to 3 kills and 87,642 damage. And of course, the big risk here is not running into friendlies, because that will definitely knock off a whole bunch of your hit points. So I'm trying to avoid Al there, who's in his Omaha, who definitely would kill me if we had a prolonged contact. And frankly, neither one of us need to lose hit points, so I'm going to go ahead and we're going to get turned around here, and you can see the voice chat icon is lit up, and that's because I'm asking him if he wants me to lay a smoke screen for him, and he says to go ahead and do it, so I'll go ahead and do it. I really wish he'd shoot down that spotting plane, because every single time I come out of the smoke circle, that spotting plane spots me. And that puts me at risk, because Texas there, they've got 2 destroyers that I have no idea where they are. Congo, which is right there. And then I think it's a Kaiser is the other one. If it's not a Kaiser, it's a König. It's another German battleship. And so every time he circles around, I get exposed, and it's just one more opportunity for one of these guys to do some serious damage there. Yep, there I am spotted again. Okay. So we got Texas here, who's 6.7 kilometers out. We got Congo, who's 8 kilometers out. So we can't really launch any torps at Congo just yet. And unfortunately, Congo is basically going to be at the edge of our torpedo range the entire battle. You can see that she's starting to turn out just a little bit. So any torpedoes I launch at her aren't going to find home in time. So we're going to go ahead and we're just going to be patient. We're going to launch some torps. I'm praying that Texas kept moving at roughly the same speed he was at. Just kind of guesstimating based on where he was at. And, well, as you can see, he slowed down. So those will definitely miss, unfortunately. But that's all right. Like I said, this was 142,000 damage, guys. We got a lot of damage yet to go. So, and unfortunately, there's Al taking some big hits from Congo. Hopefully he doesn't come around this corner and find a Texas. That would be bad news. I will go ahead and find the Texas. Now again, we're playing right at that 6-kilometer detection range, and that's me looking to see if the torpedoes were even close, and they really weren't. That's because he started slowing down or moving way slower than I thought he was. So, as you can see, just by following him, he's not making any real movements to change his course and path. Very silly move. I think he's anticipating me being on the exact opposite side of where I'm at. There you can see the König showing up. Rock Raider's telling me that my torps look good, and I appreciate having the eye in the sky effect. Of course, the Texas starts turning just a little bit, but, well, that just plays right into my hands. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 torpedoes. And if my smoke was closer to being up, I would have shot him. But with 17 seconds till smoke, it's very risky to go ahead and start shooting. I'm detected anyway, so, well, screw it. He ain't paying attention to me. Oh, let's go ahead and slow down. We're going to pop smoke. I could have swore I hit the smoke button, and no, I didn't. Light a fire. Stationary with lots of ships nearby. And now I realize the smoke's not up. Let's get that rolling. There we go. So got ourselves some cover. Did another 660 damage off that Texas, who is, of course, burning now. And just enough burn to go ahead and, well, die for one, but that burn came after he repaired the torpedo impacts. So he stopped the flooding, which was wise because there was enough floods there to be problematic, but the fires ultimately what ended up killing him. So as you can see, we're at 142,511 damage. This Koenig will be the last ship in the match. And let's go ahead and find some other stats. Let's talk about Tier 6. Tier 6 is an interesting tier because out of all of them, it seems to be relatively balanced. You know, everybody hates Mutsuki, or Matsuki, as some people like to say. And, well, she leads in survivability in battles, as well as main battery hit rate. She's second in torpedo hits, second in average damage, and only trails Farragut by 69 points in that regard. Only trails only trails Farragut by 39 average XP, 100 some odd XP to Ognivoy. Win rate wise, Mutsuki is down a lot in win rate. Farragut has a solid 1.78 win rate over her. So there's a decent amount there. And that's the average across all 4 servers. Okay, 142,511 damage, 13 torpedo hits, 4 sinks. Base XP of 2,045. There you can see the damage, 122,372 in torpedoes alone. Only 10k in main battery and 10k in the fires and floodings. Fires actually counted for 6k of that, so that's good. And there's the XP and credits. Anyway, that's the Tier 5 Minekaze battle. As with our battle involving the Shimikaze and Fubuki, as you can see, there's a very specific play style to the Japanese destroyers, and I think a lot of people are underplaying them. They don't use their guns nearly aggressively enough, and, well, that's a shame, because that's a large portion of your damage profile. So, anyway, I'm your Peacekeeper. As with always, guys, like, comment, subscribe, and thank you guys for watching.